Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation on money managing for translators, where I will introduce you to a few different tools and things related to money that you should consider if you plan on doing freelance translation work or any freelance work for that matter. As a freelancer, you will be managing your own business finances, including payments, invoices, as well as taxes, so it is best to prepare for that rather than figuring it out as it comes. Let's get started with invoicing. What is an invoice? According to Invoice2go.com, an invoice is a commercial document issued by businesses to indicate a transaction and request payment for the product or service provided. So once your client has agreed to your terms and signed a contract, the next step is to issue them an invoice. If you want a pre-made template, there are many you can download online. One service I found, called Invoice2go, allows you to create an account and select a template. You can import your own logo or use an image provided by them. Choose a color theme if you want a bit of color in there. It is a paid service, however. There is a 15-day free trial, and in the end, if you don't want to pay for it, you can use the example template as inspiration for your own template designs. Some great features of it are being able to do it from your phone or your tablet. I think it does save you money in the end to just create your own via Excel and reuse it for all your projects. So let's take a look at Invoice2go. So I made a trial account, and so far I don't have anything on here. Now if you want to start creating, what you would do, instead of going straight to invoices, you can customize it in settings. So you customize your invoice design. So this is the template I chose. There's many different types you can choose from. Then you can go on to add your logo. I don't have a logo right now, but let's see, we can choose anything really. And that adds it at the top there. From there we go on down. You can add additional images or some color. Let's make it a green. So it's not much importance there. And so that is Invoice2go. Now moving on. Here is a template I found via the Microsoft website. I edited it a bit to fit my needs as a translator. And so when creating your invoice, there are a couple of things you need to include. Firstly, you should have the word invoice somewhere at the top to make it really clear what the document is. Following this, you need your name, your company name, as well as an invoice number. This will help you keep track of all your invoices. And then following that, you need the date of the issue, your contact information, the client's contact details, and all this should be in the first half. Moving down the page, you must have a description of the work you did, the rate, the number of words if you're translating or revising, and the total due. Having all of this neatly organized in a chart will make it much easier for the client to understand what they are reading and what they are being charged. Then don't forget to write your due date and let the client know how they can make a payment. This is where you would put your preferred method or the already agreed upon method that you had in your contract. At the very bottom, you can add a little thank you message or a quote or something as a little conclusion. When you finish, you can save it to PDF and send it off to the client. Now, in addition to the invoice, you should also communicate with the client in an email, spelling out the information in the invoice, just so that it is super clear there are no miscommunications on when, how, and how much you are to be paid. Now that you know how to set up an invoice, you need to decide how you want to accept payment for your services. You want it to be as easy as possible for your client to pay you. Now there are a multitude of ways to receive payments online, some of the most common being PayPal or e-transfers through your bank. If your client lives in the same country as you, e-transfers are great. However, if your clients are international, you need another method. Many people still use PayPal, however, when you charge really large sums, the fees can get pretty high. A great alternative to PayPal and e-transfers is TRANSFERWISE. This is a money sending tool that allows your client to transfer funds from anywhere in the world for lower rates and fees than your bank. They charge mid-market fees, and sending money through TRANSFERWISE is a relatively easy process. You input how much you want to transfer, send your money to TRANSFERWISE from your bank. They will convert your money and send it to your recipient's bank account. And so the currency is automatically converted. You don't need to worry about calculating it yourself. And the translator or the freelancer can receive money from international clients without the hassle of them having to create an international bank account to avoid those fees. TRANSFERWISE charges a percentage fee, so they range from 0.5% to 1.5% of your transaction, and sometimes a little bit higher depending on the currency. When receiving money, you get to choose whether you want to hold your money in your TRANSFERWISE account or withdraw it into your local bank account. As a freelancer, you are likely to eventually work for international clients, so this tool would be an ideal way for you to make the most of your transaction and for your client to be possibly motivated to pay on time. So let's take a look around. Signing in is pretty easy. You can just sign in with your Google account. I won't sign in because I'm not planning to send or receive money right now, but here you can choose. So pretend you are your client. If your client is in Great Britain and you are charging them 1,000 British pounds, you want that in Canadian because you live in Canada, TRANSFERWISE shows you how much you will be receiving, and it shows you a breakdown of the fees. In terms of security, TRANSFERWISE is regulated and licensed in Canada as well as other countries. However, they are a higher risk category than your traditional bank, and there is no deposit or insurance. So what this means is if this service suddenly shuts down and your transfer hasn't been processed yet because it takes a few days, you may just lose your money. But overall, people have been giving really great reviews about it on the internet. Another great money transfer tool, which is a bit better for large amounts, is called World First. It has no fee for transfers of $10,000 US or more. And for anything under that amount, it's a $10 transfer fee. It's a flat rate. Now, comparing it to TRANSFERWISE, for larger transfers, World First is generally cheaper. While TRANSFERWISE charges you a percentage of the transfer, World First only charges you a flat rate. Both services still beat banks on fees and exchange rates, and they are both free to sign up for. I found a handy-dandy little website that contrasts these two services. So if we scroll down here, it shows you, compares you sending $1,000, $5,000, and $10,000 US to Canada. So with $1,000 US, if you send it with World First, you get a transfer fee of $10, whereas with TRANSFERWISE, it's only $9.90, and in the end, there's a small difference of $3 Canadian. So you would end up earning more with TRANSFERWISE. With $5,000 transfers, World First still has that $10 transfer fee, whereas TRANSFERWISE goes all the way up to $49.50. And in the end, there's a $38 Canadian difference. So World First is the cheaper example. And then for $10,000, there is zero transfer fee with World First and $84 with TRANSFERWISE. I think it's pretty clear which service wins here. So in Canadian dollars, with World First, you would end up receiving $13,270. But with TRANSFERWISE, it's only $13,186. So that's how that works. You should choose the one that's right for you. If you have a bunch of small transactions, I think TRANSFERWISE would be better, but that is up to you to decide in the end. Now, moving on to actually managing the money that you will be receiving. Knowing how to handle money is one of the most important skills you will need as a freelancer. This is a huge topic on its own, and I only want to present the basics. So as a freelancer, your income may not be fixed. Some months may bring in more income than others. And if you are not working for a company, you most likely do not get benefits such as paid leave, insurances, bonuses, etc. Freelancers need to manage their funds to prepare for different situations, such as buying medication, travel expenses, emergencies. In addition, you should have a separate amount reserved for paying your taxes when the season comes around. So that's another perk of working for a company. Your taxes get deducted off your paycheck and you don't need to worry about it. So in order to manage this, you should set up a spreadsheet with a column for all the money coming in, one for all the money coming out, and observing the balance each month. This will help you save smarter in the following months, as well as when tax season comes around. And having a spreadsheet will help you determine what were your business expenses and what were your personal expenses. In addition to this, you can open up a business checking account to keep things separate. If you haven't set that up, you can save all your receipts in a binder, nice and organized by date, or if you want to save paper, you can save them electronically. Just make sure they are well organized. And then once a month, you would go through your income and your expenses and put the amounts into your spreadsheet. That way you won't be overwhelmed at the end of the year or the week before tax deadlines. Now, if saving receipts or organizing them for yourself is too tedious, you can use a handy tool called QuickBooks. Now, QuickBooks is an online bookkeeping service. You can create an account with them, hook it up to your business checking account, and every time you spend money, it will go straight to your QuickBooks account, and then once a month you can sign in, go through all the transactions, label them as office expenses, software expenses, etc. And if you accidentally use your business card for a personal expense, you can exclude that from your reports just by labeling it as personal. QuickBooks also has a built-in invoicing feature as well as payment feature. This will make it really easy for your clients to receive your invoice, send you the payment, and it's easy for you to keep track of all these transactions in one place. So let's take a look inside. So once you log in, it is a subscription service, so I signed up for the free trial. So this is what your dashboard will look like. First thing you would have to do is connect to your bank account. So you go here, banking, and connect. I won't do that today, but it's relatively simple. And once you connect to your bank, your transactions from the past 90 days will be imported. However, if you want to import transactions even further back, you'll need to do this by importing the CSV file. It is possible also to add transactions manually in case something gets missed. And down here in Invoicing, you can send your first invoice, or what you can do first is go back to Dashboard and customize your invoice. So you click on that first one, that first image, and it takes you to this page where you can choose your template, add your logo, add some color, choose your font. Don't need to get too crazy. It should be just relatively simple. And then you can go on to change your content. So in this first one, you can change any typos you found, you can change your address. Over here on the right side where it says terms, it says net 30, and what this means is that the client must pay you within 30 days of the invoice being issued. You can change this to net 15 or however long you want to give your client to pay you. Moving down, you can edit your description, the description of the work, your rates, your amounts, the date, and then down here at the bottom is your total. So that's the gist of finances for freelance translators. There are plenty of online tutorials if you would like to delve deeper into any of these programs. And I hope you learned something from this presentation, as I sure did. Thank you. Until next time.